Today we're going to be talking about the latest fragrance releases from this past week and discussing whether or not we want to get them and why. I call this series Smash or Pass, and we have a lot of really interesting releases and some that I'm quite not excited about, and we're going to be talking about them in today's video. If this is your first time watching this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I absolutely love fragrances and I talk about them here every single weekday, so Monday through Friday, and I also do additional content on TikTok and Instagram under the username ANECHKAFRAGRANCES if you're interested in seeing more. So we have quite the list of new releases. I have like my Google Doc with so many. So I'm excited to get into it, so let's get started. The first release is by Latta and it's called Bourbon Brulee. Latta is a fragrance brand that was created by Stephanie Latta. She is a content creator that mostly posts on Instagram now, but she was known for her YouTube videos. I actually learned how to make cheesecake by watching her videos, by the way, because she also did cooking videos for a time. I think she still does on and off. That cheesecake, the best. So good, literally amazing. But I digress. Her fragrances have been really popular as well, and this is the latest release from the brand. Again, this is called number 20 Bourbon Brulee. This fragrance has notes of Italian bergamot, black plum, Brazilian tonka bean at the top, a mid of cypriol root, coconut milk, whiskey accord, and heliotrope, and then a base of caramel, vanilla, bourbon, amberwood, white musk, and American cedar. Now, I have heard kind of like a lot of conflicting opinions about Latta fragrances, so I haven't tried them yet. They're one of the brands that I wish I could try in person before I actually commit to anything, and they do have a discovery set, so I might get my hands on that at some point. But yeah, what do you think of Latta? Because like these fragrance notes do look really fun and interesting, and I feel like this is kind of like a more nuanced alternative to maybe something like By the Fireplace or Jazz Club. You know, those fragrances that are kind of synonymous with the fall and winter months. I feel like this is like a more nuanced version of that, so I would be more interested in getting this than getting those other fragrances, simply because so many people already have those other fragrances and they are already super familiar with them, and this is kind of like a fresher take on a similar kind of scent category. So for that reason, I feel like this would be really interesting to try out. So I'm kind of interested in this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it straight away, but yeah, I'm interested in this brand. I'm interested to see what they have to offer. And plus the bottles look really beautiful as well. I love the faceted glass personally, but yeah, let me know. Have you tried Latta fragrances? If so, what did you think? And are you getting this fragrance and are you excited about it? Let me know. Next, we have a new release by Lattafa. This is Badal Oud Noble Blush, and this is essentially a flanker of their Oud for Glory bottle, but this is light pink, so it's completely different. But this perfume will have a top note of rose milk, a heart of almond and meringue, and then a base of sandalwood, vanilla, and musk. So this is going to be a floral gourmand perfume. I am quite excited about this. I feel like this might be like a touch of like a powdery electronic fragrance, and that to me is a scent profile that I really love and gravitate towards. I think this would be a fun one. The only way I can see this not necessarily being a great fragrance for me personally is if the almond note leans too Play-Doh-y. That happens quite often with a lot of almond notes. To me, they tend to lean Play-Doh-y sometimes, and whenever that happens, I can't wear it. So again, the only way I wouldn't like this, in my opinion, is if it leaned too Play-Doh-y, or if the rose smelled too potpourri artificial, but that goes for any rose. Next up, we have a new release by Ariana Grande. This is going to be called REM 2.0, a limited edition launch. This will launch on November 22nd, and it's supposed to be a deeper, more intense version of that signature REM musk. This perfume will have top notes of cherry jubilee, sugared honeysuckle petals, a heart of jasmine absolute, marshmallow, and meringue, and then a base of glowing amber and warm musks. I believe this will only be available in the travel size version, which means it would probably be a very good stocking stuffer gift if you're trying to go that route. I don't necessarily have anything bad to say about Ariana Grande perfumes. I just don't have them because I think I'm definitely not the target demographic for them. To me, I find that whoever tends to wear a lot of Ariana Grande scents, and of course this is like an overgeneralization, and I know there are exceptions to this, but I think the general demographic that tends to really go for the Ariana Grande scents is kind of younger, high school, maybe early college, and that just doesn't match up with my tastes or what I want to embody when I'm wearing a fragrance. And I know there are a lot of people who like Ariana Grande fragrances, but I'm just not one of those people. So while I would be curious to smell this in store, I can't really imagine getting this myself. So this is definitely going to be a pass from me. But I feel like, again, if you're trying to get like a good stocking stuffer gift, this would be a good option to get for someone. Okay, next up we have so you may have already heard about this release because it kind of did go a little bit semi-viral. Everyone had an opinion on it. This is a new fragrance by Beyoncé. This will be called C'est Lumere, and this perfume will have top notes of Madagascar black pepper and Italian mandarin, a mid of jasmine, sambac, and rhubarb, and then a base of patchouli and musk. I'm not going to be getting this at all. I did not get the first launch that she did, but essentially it looks like, from what I've heard online, and I'm inclined to believe that based off of what people have been saying about the quality of these bottles, is she's essentially just slapping her name on something and making a profit from it, which is fine. But I think Fumi Monet actually spoke about this quite well on TikTok. But essentially, Beyonce has never really been someone that is known to be super interested in fragrances in her personal life. Compare her to Rihanna. Rihanna's known for smelling good. She's known for having um, a love for fragrances, and she's only really come out with one fragrance. Beyonce has come out with like two in rather quick succession, and this perfume, like just looking at it, in my opinion, it looks cheap. And from what I've seen of the reviews, when people were talking about the first fragrance, they were like, yeah, it feels cheap, the packaging is cheaply done, and the notes, like, it's nothing to write home about, and this is just not something that I'm inclined to get. I'm not going to spend close to $200 on packaging that looks cheap, um, that seems disingenuous. I'm just not going to do it. And yeah, this is going to be an absolute pass for me. I mean, let me see. Like, yeah. So they're saying that they're being offered in limited quantities exclusively on Beyonce.com to maintain the ability to interact directly with the consumer and gain valuable feedback. I don't know what they mean by that, because if they want to get feedback, all they have to do is a quick search and to see that people genuinely felt like this was a disingenuous launch when it came to the fragrances. And in terms of feedback, they need to either, I don't know, like, I feel like they just need to change the packaging and just change the way they're going about it, and possibly lower the pricing, because the pricing is kind of insane, especially with people saying that the packaging is cheaply done. And again, like, Beyonce has access to some of the best product designers in the world, the best packaging materials, the best perfumers, and she can come out with something that's truly innovative and special and amazing. And this is not it. This is not it, and this is almost certainly and definitely a pass. Okay, next we have a new launch by BDK Parfum. This is Rouge Smoking Extrait. This perfume will have top notes of Napoleon cherry, almond, red mandarin essential oil, Indian pink peppercorn extract, Italian bergamot essential oil, a heart of tonka bean absolute, Spanish labdanum, Peru balsam, and milk, and then a base of Thai oud oil, amber woods, ambroxan, Madagascar black vanilla absolute, rum extract, Indonesian patchouli essential oil, benzoin resinoid. That is such a mouthful. Oh my gosh, that's an insane scent pyramid. Okay, this will be a fragrance that's amber, floral, and fruity. I'm interested in trying this out specifically because that was such a difficult scent pyramid to say that I'm just innately curious. Um, I don't necessarily know if I'm like super excited about another cherry fragrance. I actually did a video a few weeks back talking about like my favorite top 3 cherry fragrances. And as someone with a growing fragrance collection, I'm inclined to say that I am very picky about the cherry perfumes that are entering my collection. So unless I try it and I love it, it's not coming in. It's not going to enter the collection. The gates are up. We shall not pass. This is not going to be a perfume that I'm going to needlessly blind buy just because. I'm just being honest with you. But it does seem interesting, but this is definitely a try before you buy for me personally, because yeah, I don't need another cherry perfume. Okay, another release by Tom Ford. I feel like Tom Ford has launched quite a few new fragrances lately. They've been launching perfumes. So this fragrance is actually going to be launched in 2025. This is called Rose Exposed. I'm actually surprised that they announced it so early. I know we're in October, but like, I'm surprised that they launched a 2025, or they announced a 2025 fragrance this early on. But this perfume will have top notes of white pepper, a heart of rose essential oil and rose water extract, and then a base of sandalwood. Based off of this perfume, just looking at it, I don't know how I feel about it, because you know how Tom Ford, they're known for kind of creating fragrances that don't have a lot of longevity, a lot of staying power. I feel like by them using the note of rose water extract, that might almost be an invitation for them to make the fragrance even more like fleeting than it already is. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this will play out. That's my two notes on it. I like Tom Ford. I don't love them enough to put them on the full bottle wish list. That's just my opinion. I don't like. I literally just have decants from them, and to be honest, I'm happy. I'm happy to go for that, because based off of the size you get, the scent profile, it's just way too overpriced, and it's not something that's in the cards for me. It's not something that I'm like super excited about, so this will be a pass. So next up is a new fragrance by Swiss Arabian, and this will be called Shaghaf Vanilla Toffee. This sounds very, very good. And this perfume will have notes of buttery toffee and Arabica coffee at the top, a mid of walnut pastry, date milk, vanilla, and cardamom, and then a base of Madagascar vanilla caviar, brown sugar, benzoin, tonka bean, musk, and woods. Now, I am not someone who's really smelled a lot of the Shaghaf Oud ones. I like the turquoise Shaghaf Oud. I forget what it's called, but I'll flash it on the screen. I like that one. I think it's a good one. The other ones I've not really smelled. This one, though, I'm really interested in, particularly because the perfume guy on YouTube, let me pull up his post, because he actually smelled this in Dubai, and he had a very favorable review of it. And I do trust his opinion, and this is what he said. So he said, this was one of his most anticipated fragrance that he wanted to smell, and this is an instant buy from his perspective. And quote unquote, this is a super delicious and probably the best in the series, and perhaps the most original. Yes, it's sugary, vanillic, toffee sweet on first spray, but it settles to a nutty walnut, incense, smoky, amber deliciousness in the dry down, and not uber gourmand. The start and end of this fragrance was all great. I loved it. I am gonna really want to try this fragrance specifically because of this rave review. And he tries a lot of fragrances, by the way. If you're interested in fragrance reviews here on YouTube, definitely recommend following him. He tries a lot of fragrances, so him saying this is a really good one, to me, like, I trust that. So yeah, this is a perfume I'm actually really excited by. I'm interested to try it. I'm interested in trying it out and seeing how it goes. I feel like this would be a fun, nutty gourmand, but not too gourmand, because I'm not interested right now at this point when it comes to fragrances coming into this collection, right? I'm not interested in getting something that's like super gourmand and that's it. I want to have some nuance when it comes to my scents, and I feel like this will check off all those boxes for me, so I am actually super interested in trying this one out. Okay, so we have a bedazzled fragrance by Guerlain, and I just wanted to talk about this in this video because of how beautiful the bottle is. So this is a limited edition launch by Guerlain. This is called Imagine, and this is specifically launching for the holiday season. They're collaborating with the French jewelry designer Shaghaf Arayam. I can't pronounce that, so if I'm butchering that, I'm very sorry. But this perfume is essentially a bedazzled fragrance with the following notes: orange blossom at the top, a mid of benzoin, and then a base of sandalwood. This is obviously for the super big Guerlain fans. I like Guerlain. I'm not a big enough fan to go out of my way to purchase this. So this will be a pass for me, but this is something I can still appreciate because not only do the notes sound beautiful, but this fragrance looks amazing. Like, I love the crystals. I love the craftsmanship when it comes to the bottles. And may I just say, like, even like the Aqua Allegoria line by Guerlain? Even that line, and that line is like one of their more inexpensive lines, the bottles still look beautiful. The attention to detail is still lovely, and I really appreciate that. Like, I love it when brands come out with fragrances and they pay extra close attention to making the bottle design look absolutely gorgeous. And I love to have a fragrance that I'm proud to like display or hold in my hand. Like, I love that. Next, we have a new fragrance by Fragrance World. This is called Intense Alchemy. This is a woody, musky perfume with top notes of bay rose, incense, and coffee, mid of cashmere notes, cedarwood, and balsamic notes, and then a base of vanilla, vetiver, and musk. They also do have another fragrance that's launching alongside this one. This perfume will be called Oud Alchemy, and this is a citrus amber scent with top notes of saffron, lemon, and apple, a mid of amber, orange, and rose, and then a base of sandalwood, incense, and oud. If I had to compare the two fragrances, I would definitely say the one I'm leaning towards the most is the Incense Alchemy one, specifically because I love a good musk and I love incense notes, and I like how there's a slight gourmand twist to this in the form of coffee, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I feel like there's some nuance to it. It's unique. I feel like this would be a very pretty fragrance to wear for the fall and winter time, so this is something I'm interested in. Next, we have a few new launches from Heretic. The first is Blood Orange. This perfume is going to be a citrus fragrance with notes of mandarin orange, bitter orange, blood orange, ylang ylang, bergamot, cedar, and lemon at the top, a mid of jasmine sambac, pink lotus, champaca, and rose, and then a base of vanilla absolute, umbrella tide, and benzoin. Next, from the same brand, we do have Dragon's Blood. This perfume will have notes of frankincense, coriander, cedar, rosewood, and then a mid of May Rose and Dragon's Blood resin, and then a base of patchouli, benzoin, and oud. If I had to choose between the two, I would say I'm probably most interested in potentially trying the latter one with the Dragon's Blood. I'm actually interested in seeing how this will be. I don't know what Dragon's Blood resin is supposed to smell like. This is obviously a fantasy accord, which means that this is the perfumer's interpretation of what that note would smell like, and they're putting it in the fragrance. So I feel like this would be a fun one to try out. This is definitely a try it before you buy. But yeah, I haven't tried that much from Heretic before. I think I might have tried Dirty Vanilla and I liked it, but I think that's about it. So yeah, the perfumer or the founder behind the brand is Douglas Little, and he actually works closely with Dita Von Teese, and they came out with a fragrance collaboration together, which is also exciting. But yeah, this is interesting. Let me know, have you tried Heretic before? If so, what were your thoughts? I do want to spotlight, purely because of the bottle, this perfume by the brand Agatha Ruiz de la Prada, and this is called Look Fun. This perfume is avant-garde in the biggest way possible. This is a citrus white floral perfume with notes of magnolia leaf, blood orange, and pineapple, a mid of orange blossom, jasmine, freesia, and then a base of amber, sandalwood, and sugar. I would say forget the nose. The thing that's drawing to this the most is the bottle. The bottle looks absolutely insane and really funky and really artistic. Is this my style? No. Can I appreciate it? Yes. I mean, it looks interesting. Like, I mean, the fragrance will probably smell reasonably good. Like, I don't doubt that. But it's just like a fun, like, modern way of having a perfume. Is this something that I want specifically for the bottle? No. But is this something I want to show you because it is wacky and fun in the best way possible? Yes. Next, from bond number 9, we have a new fragrance called Gold Street. This perfume is inspired by the financial district in New York City in the New York Stock Exchange. So this perfume will have notes of vintage French leather, pink pepper, blueberry, jasmine absolute at the top, a mid of suede leather, iris concrete, amber absolute, salted caramel fudge, and then a base of vanilla Madagascar extract and tolu balsam. Have I been saying tofu this entire time? Because I remember reading out those notes before, and reading out that note specifically, tolu balsam, before, and I'm like, have I said tofu in the past? If so, I don't think anyone noticed. Okay. But, okay. I'm like, let me kind of get into it. So, you know how some of us have like fragrance brands that no matter what they come out with, we're not interested in getting them for like reasons that are our own. I am not interested in getting anything from bond number 9, and that's my own personal reasoning because of a few things. Number one, I think the bottles look a little bit too funky. I can't really align myself with buying a bottle that's priced that much that looks this tacky. To me, this looks tacky, like the way they do their bottles. The fragrance itself, the notes do look interesting. I mean, it's clear that it's inspired by a New York City street, so that's why they have the concrete note there. Um, but I think this is a cool one. I think it's an interesting one. It's an interesting way of doing the notes. I would be interested in smelling this just out of curiosity. Would I ever even think to buy it? No. But I do think this would be an interesting fragrance to try out. So that's my consensus on it. Next, we have a new launch by Sarah Baker. This is going to be called Tartan Cask. This is a woody, smoky fragrance, and this will have notes of sandalwood, labdanum, leather, tobacco, heather, cedar, bread, smoke, moss, and whiskey. I personally am interested and excited about this particular release. I do have Sarah Baker's Discovery set, and I need to do some kind of content talking about it because some of her fragrances definitely do seem quite interesting, and this is no exception. I would be interested in trying this one out. It's boozy. There's like some savory aspects to it. It has leather. You guys know how much I love leather and labdanum. So yeah, this is one I actually am interested and keen on trying. The only thing that I would kind of be scared about is the bread note because there's actually I'm going to be talking about this fragrance probably sometime this week. I'm not going to talk about which fragrance it is, but it's a very popular fragrance that's gone viral. Um, I smelled that perfume and it has a note of brioche, which is similar to bread, as you know. And that perfume smells kind of yeasty. So looking at this, I'm like, if it's like an aromatic bread-like note, then it could be good. But if this perfume has like a yeasty bread note to it, then I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm kind of like, this is not something that I would blind buy at all. I would love to maybe get a sample of it, but this is something I'd be cautious about. But just looking at the notes, I am excited about it, but I might hesitate just a little bit, just a tiny bit, because it might be something that I'm not into because of that bread note. So yeah. And also Sarah McCartney, she's the founder of the brand and she's a perfumer. She seems like she's a lovely person. I met her at Essence. She's great. She's based in London. She's really sweet. And yeah, I'm excited to, uh, I'd say, learn more about her brand. I do have her discovery set. I need to get into it and I'll likely make a video or something about it, or I'll, at the very least, post about it on TikTok. So follow me there if you want to see more. Okay, so those are all the fragrances I want to cover in today's video. Let me know, is there anything that stood out to you? What are the fragrances that you're super excited about? And are there any perfumes that you're kind of not too interested in? Let's talk about it in the comments. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.